Hello, my name is Matthew Benedetto. I am a sophomore here at Bloomsburg. I just transferred to Mansfield University. I'm originally from Millersburg, Pennsylvania, a small town in central PA. I am a mass communications major with a track in telecommunications, and I will be talking to you today about Trump versus NATO. In 2018, after Trump was elected in 2016, he discussed his disgust for NATO and didn't want to be involved, but he kept that on the down low until 2018 when people started to hear about Trump wanting to withdraw the US from the NATO. There's only a few things that would happen if, let's say, Trump did do this. It would weaken NATO by having this great power in the United States leave, which would become a Russian benefit because Russia wants to destroy NATO. Obviously, they're not involved in NATO, but they want to become a bigger power, which they aren't. But if the US left, that would give Russia and Putin an advantage. Trump does not see a point in a military alliance. This is one reason he wants to leave. He doesn't think that the United States needs a military alliance. Therefore, he would leave NATO. The Trump administration denies these comments. That's why they weren't heard about until around 2018. He's definitely said those in 2016, 17. 2018, people, the public, the media, finally started to hear about these comments of Trump wanting to leave NATO. The USA has spent around 51.1% of NATO's combined GDP, and the USA spent around 71.7% of its combined defense expenditure. The U.S. contributed more funds to NATO than Germany, France, Italy, Spain, the United Kingdom, and Canada combined. This is a big reason for Trump wanting to leave NATO. The United States has spent so much money and put so much funds, and all the GDP percentages are so much higher than all the other countries in NATO. Trump thinks that they aren't contributing. Now I'll get more into that in my next slide. So why withdraw from NATO? I touched base on this in the last slide, but of course the bigger one is military spending. Trump suggests that they have not contributed enough military spending. They don't think the other countries such as Germany, Italy, Canada, United Kingdom, Greece, etc. have spent spent enough on military spending. The United States spent well over 70% on the defense. Trump wanted the Allies to spend 2% of their GDP, but the United States spent over 4% of the GDP. So you can see it on the chart to the left, that's a little outdated, but still you can tell what countries haven't contributed. Big ones like France, Germany, Canada, Italy, even Turkey are under the 2% mark that Trump wanted to have. And obviously the United States is now over 4%, and back in this one they were still way in front of everybody. They get 3.62% of its spending is just insane. There could also be the secret alliance with Russia and the US. Obviously a lot of talks with Trump and Putin, and a lot of the CIA and FBI looking into the elections and the riggings, if anything happened there. So obviously if the United States left, this would create Putin's uprising and he can take over NATO because it's weakened. Obviously losing over 4% of the NATO's GDP spending is devastating. So in January 2019, only a few months ago, in mid-January, Trump announced that the U.S. is with NATO 100%. Both Trump and NATO, the NATO president says that the other countries are stepping up. I could not find much on this since there wasn't a lot of charts released. they did say that the GDP of other countries' spending is going higher, which means Trump is behind NATO. And obviously, President Trump and other countries have talked about the involvement with NATO, and and Trump decided that they've stepped up and they've been spending more, just like the United States wanted them to. The current status of the U.S. and NATO. Today, obviously, NATO and the United States are at peace, but will Trump decide to leave NATO at all? Yes, he said that he supports them, he's 100% behind, but Trump is one of those people that somehow forgets what he says 2 years ago. So anything can change. He'd be lying about this. He'd be telling the truth. Who knows? There's an election year in 2020 that this could be a huge topic. NATO is important for military defense. It has an alliance between America and the other countries in Europe. It is huge. I would not want to see the United States ever leave NATO, especially with Trump in office. This would be devastating towards NATO and those European countries, and it would bring Russia on a higher power, bring them unified, because then they have something they could fight for. So hopefully, I've discussed Trump and NATO, and now you understand a little bit more about this foreign policy, and hopefully Trump doesn't leave NATO, and hopefully the US and NATO stay together at peace 100%.